What should have been a straightforward celebration of Tommy Fury's latest victory quickly spiraled into one of the most chaotic and controversial scenes boxing fans have witnessed in recent memory. The action inside the ring may have ended, but the real drama was only just beginning. As emotions boiled over backstage,
so fight Roman and see what happens. That's all I can say to this man for right now. Anybody else?
and tempers exploded in front of cameras. The aftermath became bigger than the fight itself. At the center of the storm stood John Fury and Darren Till, two personalities who seem incapable of sharing the same space without confrontation. What began as verbal exchanges rapidly escalated into a volatile scene filled with threats, shouting, and complete disorder.
I'm fucking ready to go, mate. It took 20 fucking men to hold me. It took fucking 20 minutes to hold me back. Where are you, you fucking weird? I'll push them fucking... I'll push them Superman big through your fucking ass. I'll push them Superman like eggs up your fucking ass, you queer.
The tension was impossible to ignore, and for many watching, it felt like the situation was only one step away from becoming a full-scale brawl. John Fury appeared completely consumed by emotion. Moments after Tommy Fury's victory, cameras captured him tearing off his shirt, shouting aggressively, and charging toward Darren Till. Any sense of celebration disappeared instantly as the atmosphere...
Just terrified. Him and John are just terrified of me. It's just pride and ego at this point. They're just absolutely terrified of me. So, yeah.
Darren, will this fight ever happen, do you think?
At this point, no. I've come to, this has given a lot of attention to the fight, and I just don't think at this point it's going to happen. I don't know, maybe from that press conference how scared they are of me, because they've seen, I don't come to play or nothing like that. I'm a respectful guy, but if it's there in the face, it's different, and the Furies have probably seen that. So I don't think the fight's going to happen now. And I'm not chasing the fight, I've just come because he said I couldn't come.
Transformed into pure chaos. Rather than enjoying the victory, John seemed focused entirely on confronting Till, directing a barrage of threats and insults toward him. His aggressive behavior shocked many observers because the confrontation escalated far beyond what anyone would normally expect after a fight. The emotions on display looked raw and uncontrolled. Every word and every movement suggested a man operating purely on anger rather than reason. The scene quickly became one of the biggest talking points.
I don't give a fuck! I ain't got fucking bad hands! Which way are we going?
He called it on. I've said, yeah, go on then, let's fight. Waste a load of fucking time negotiating. The zone offered him the money, and he's bottled it. And he calls everybody else a shithouse. He goes round calling everybody else a shithouse, saying he'll fight anyone. He's going to fight fucking no one. Now you know the script. Big John, the fighting man, has got no intention of fighting. Whilst talking about Big John, I need to mention his son as well, Tommy Fury. He keeps piping up, saying that a good young one beats a good old one. Tommy, listen, doesn't matter how young you are or how old I am, this connects on your chin. It's fucking game over, mate. You'd be absolutely
of the entire event. But Darren Till was never going to remain silent. Instead of backing away, Till fired straight back. He showed no fear and no hesitation as he challenged both John Fury and Tommy Fury. According to Till, the Fury family only becomes aggressive when they are confronted directly. He openly questioned their courage and suggested that their reactions were driven by ego rather than confidence. The exchange immediately intensified the situation.
I didn't really see much. I was behind there backstage. It's misfits, isn't it? You're always going to get circus.
Rather than calming tensions, Till poured gasoline on an already raging fire. He challenged them to settle things properly and repeatedly implied that all the shouting and intimidation were simply attempts to avoid genuine confrontation. The rivalry instantly became personal. As the argument continued, the atmosphere grew even more unstable. Witnesses described scenes of shouting, pushing,
I want to say scared because I don't know how they feel, but they obviously just don't want me around. You know what I mean? That just depends on whatever John wants to do. I don't give a fuck for John.
An emotional outburst that overshadowed everything that had happened inside the ring. John Fury's frustration eventually reached another level entirely. Reports and footage showed him punching walls, screaming in anger, and completely losing control of his emotions. It was a remarkable display of rage that left many questioning whether the situation had crossed the line from entertainment into something genuinely concerning. The intensity of the outburst.
I'll fight in the ring, yeah, but you won't pay me the money I'm worth.
Is this still a possibility?
Of course. Listen, I know my worth and I know what I've got left in me. You know, and at the end of the day, I want paying properly because I don't need money. Money ain't my thing. My son
created an uncomfortable feeling around the event. What had started as post-fight tension now looked like a full-blown personal conflict. Every attempt to restore order seemed to fail as emotions continued spiraling further out of control. Interestingly, Tommy Fury appeared largely detached from the chaos surrounding him. While his father was making headlines for all the wrong reasons, Tommy tried to downplay the entire situation. He described
show business. We're not here when it's not a political room of educated men. These are fighters teams, fighters things. What a way to sell the fight. My dad's an excellent salesman and he's done a fantastic job. So big up John Fury, get up son.
Big up John.
The drama as little more than a circus and suggested that nothing particularly serious had happened behind the scenes. His relaxed attitude stood in sharp contrast to the scenes unfolding around him. While others were shouting and exchanging threats, Tommy appeared calm and unconcerned. For some observers, this made the situation even stranger. The disconnect between Tommy's reaction and the chaos surrounding him created the impression that
my father behaved like that at a press conference. I would put him straight and tell him, it's embarrassing and it can't be happening, mate. It's a really bad look for boxing. I'm actually surprised it's been allowed to go on and happen in a place where they're at, to be honest.
Nobody was fully in control of the narrative anymore. Darren Till, however, remained determined to keep the pressure on. Following the confrontation, he continued attacking the Fury family verbally. Till claimed they did not want him around because they were intimidated by his presence. He framed their behavior as avoidance rather than confidence, arguing that their reactions were proof of discomfort rather than strength.
It's a mockery of boxing and just disgust and disgrace the room. I mean, it's disgusting and disgraceful what he's done. He should be embarrassed. I hope he is embarrassed, but it's not acceptable. I don't know why he's done it.
The interview seemed to add another layer to the rivalry. Rather than treating the incident as a promotional stunt, Till spoke as though the tension was entirely genuine. His comments carried a level of hostility that suggested real personal dislike had developed between the two camps. John Fury attempted to regain control of the narrative by shifting attention back toward fighting itself. He insisted that he remained willing to step into the ring and argued that money was not his motivation. Pride, respect, and personal value.
Is Tommy talking about saying you're unprofessional or?
Yeah, I am unprofessional, but this is the fight game. I'm trying to build a fight with me and him. And he's saying I'm unprofessional. Yeah, I'm extremely unprofessional, but this is the fight game. We're fighters.
How do you think the fight actually goes?
With me and Tommy?
No, with Eddie and Tommy.
I think Eddie's going to beat him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Stop him.
I think Eddie's going to beat him. I think Tommy's poor. I think he's poor.
Were the themes he repeatedly emphasized. However, many critics questioned whether those statements matched the behavior that fans had already witnessed. After seeing the emotional explosions and aggressive confrontations, some observers felt John's attempts to present himself as calm and confident only highlighted how chaotic the situation had become. Meanwhile, Tyson Fury offered a completely different perspective. Rather than condemning the incident, Tyson suggested that the entire spectacle was simply part of the fight business.
Fights with me and him, and he's saying I'm unprofessional. Yeah, I'm extremely unprofessional, but this is the fight game. We're fighters.
How do you think the fight actually goes?
With me and Tommy?
No, with Eddie and Tommy.
I think Eddie's going to beat him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Stop him.
I think Eddie's going to beat him. I think Tommy's poor. I do. I think he's poor.
Do you think you've done more promo for this fight than
Yeah, they have. I should be getting paid.
Darren, John told me that he would never ever let you fight because this is
He described John Fury as an exceptional salesman and argued that generating attention was a key component of promoting fights. According to Tyson, what many people viewed as disorder and embarrassment could also be interpreted as successful marketing. His comments shifted the conversation significantly because they raised an important question. Was this genuine hostility, or was it all part of a carefully crafted promotional strategy designed to attract headlines? Not everyone agreed with Tyson's assessment. Former world champion Tony Bellew strongly criticized
The other kid and just makes a mockery of boxing and just disgust and disgrace the room. I mean, it's disgusting and disgraceful what he's done. He should be embarrassed. I hope he is embarrassed, but it's not acceptable. I don't know why he's done it. So you've got Team Usyk at one side of the room, all chanting Usyk like you would do because you're Usyk fans and you want Usyk to win. And on the other side of the room, you've got Tyson Fury.
what had happened. Bellew stated that if his own father behaved in a similar way at a boxing event, he would immediately step in and stop it. He expressed disbelief that the situation was allowed to continue for as long as it did. His comments reflected the concerns of many traditional boxing fans who felt the sport was being overshadowed by unnecessary drama. Rather than discussing tactics, performances, and athletic achievement, the headlines were dominated by shouting matches and emotional outbursts. That criticism became even stronger when fellow former champion Carl Froch weighed in. Froch described the behavior as a disgrace and questioned why such scenes were tolerated within professional boxing. His frustration was obvious. From his perspective, the incident represented a damaging distraction.
They're always fit, you know, and at the end of the day, they haven't got, he's not coming in camp overweight sort of thing. So, well, like I say, as you can see, we work hard, don't we? You've seen what we do here.
You said this was an easy session as well.
Oh, yeah.
A light session.
Yeah, light session.
That pulled attention away from the sport itself. Adding another twist to the story, Darren Till openly criticized Tommy Fury's abilities. He dismissed Tommy as an overrated fighter and even suggested that strongman-turned-boxer Eddie Hall could potentially defeat him. Those comments guaranteed further controversy. Predicting Tommy's defeat and questioning his level inside the ring transformed the rivalry from simple trash talk into a direct attack on his credibility as a fighter. Veteran boxing analyst Johnny Nelson offered a more measured assessment. He suggested that John Fury's emotional nature often causes him to become
shout houses down and make threats and swear and all the rest of it because he creates chaos wherever he goes. And for whatever the reason, the public, they
overwhelmed in high-pressure situations. While Nelson did not excuse the behavior, he implied that such reactions have become part of John's public identity. His comments highlighted a growing concern among boxing insiders. The issue was no longer simply about one confrontation. Instead, it was becoming part of a larger conversation regarding professionalism, self-control, and the image of the sport. Promoter Frank Warren attempted to calm the situation by revealing that both sides had apologized after the incident. Warren acknowledged that things had clearly gotten out of hand, but emphasized that those involved
You don't know what he's in for. He thinks because Tommy's small. Tommy's like a pocket rocket, isn't he, compared to him? And I got that body belt on, I'm feeling the power. He can't take that. That's why he wants to do 2-minute rounds, isn't it? He can't do the 3. You know, I can't blame him. You've got to give Eddie all props because he's not a fighter. He's going to get in with Tommy knowing full well what can happen to him. And the only thing he's going to try and do is swim.
Were attempting to move forward. Even so, the damage had already been done. The footage had spread across social media, and the controversy had become impossible to ignore. Former world champion Duke McKenzie offered another blunt observation. He argued that chaos and controversy now seem to follow certain personalities wherever they go. In his view, the public often rewards dramatic behavior with attention, creating incentives for increasingly outrageous conduct. That observation touches on a bigger issue facing modern boxing. As social media continues to dominate sports coverage, controversy frequently generates more attention than technical excellence. As a result, dramatic confrontations can sometimes overshadow the actual competition inside the ring. By the end of the night, Tommy Fury's victory had become almost secondary to the...
You know, I see Ed Butts down the pub. I used to see him down the pub every weekend. So, you know, it was what it was. You know, and we all were pushing and shoving and being stupid. We maybe need to grow...
Controversy surrounding it. Instead of discussing punches, strategy, or performance, fans were debating John Fury's outburst, Darren Till's responses, and the future of their growing rivalry. What started as a fight night celebration evolved into a spectacle of clashing egos, emotional explosions, and unanswered questions. Was it genuine hostility? Was it calculated promotion? Or was it something in between? One thing is certain, the story is far from over. The rivalry between John Fury and Darren Till now feels more personal than ever. Neither man appears willing to back down, and every new interview seems to add another layer of tension. If they continue on this path, the boxing world could be heading toward an even bigger confrontation in the future. The only question remaining is who will blink first, when the cameras stop rolling and the spotlight fades away. Will it be John Fury, whose emotions repeatedly explode under pressure? Or Darren Till, who continues pushing every button he can find? Let us know in the comments. Was this simply promotion taken too far? Or are we witnessing the beginning of a genuinely personal feud that could eventually lead to an even bigger showdown?